Pro Bowler Antonio Brown, an NFL source, told ESPN that next season will allow the Raiders to find out if Derek Carr is the franchise quarterback of the future. Oakland finished 4-12 last season, and Carr had a career low in touchdown passes. So, Shannon, how sold are you on their quarterback?
I've never been sold on Derek Carr. I wasn't sold when he finished high up in the MVP voting for the simple fact I think his peaks are extremely high, but his valleys are way low. And the really great quarterbacks, they don't have that kind of flow. They don't have that ebb and flow to their game like that. He was the year that he was finished high in the MVP. It was almost like very Tebow-esque because he'd like stink it up for the first half, and then they was winning the game with 10 seconds left on the clock, or they put it out in the last minute of the ball game. And that's not, that's a great quality to have. But what you want to see is your star elite level quarterback, franchise quarterback, play well, play consistently. They're not going to always. I mean, it's not like, people like, wait, Tom Brady and Manning and all the greats, they don't throw for 300 yards every game. They don't not miss throws or throw an interception, but they don't have the peaks and the valleys that these other quarterbacks, and that's what set them apart. And so I've really never been sold on him. I think it will benefit, it's also going to benefit having John Gruden for his second year. Now, and people are like, well, what about AB? AB's going to help, but the thing that I think John Gruden will help Derek Carr, he will tell AB, shut the bleep up, get in the huddle, run the route, run the play that I call.
Yep.
Derek Carr doesn't strike me as that guy that has that kind of cachet, and so hopefully that doesn't take place. We know it's going to take place. Hopefully Derek Carr can withstand that. But Skip, I've never been the biggest Carr fan, and people are like, well, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard, Skip. I like when people are explaining, like when they try to explain to you about Kyler Murray, or they try to explain to you about Baker. I just can't put my hand on it, but he just has it. He just has that something about him that guys will follow him, and he never seems like he's out of place or he's out of kilter. That everything is just like, everything's gonna be okay, bro. I know it's chaotic out there, but we got this. I just never get that sense from Derek Carr, and so that's kind of why I've been out on him. He could clearly prove me wrong this year, but he better prove me wrong because basically this is a one-year deal. If he doesn't play like John Gruden expects him to play, when they get ready to head to Vegas, he won't be making the trip.
You are probably right. There's been rampant speculation. He's not going to make the trip to this training camp, right? Because he's been on the trade block supposedly, reportedly. So yesterday, some pretty dramatic moves made again by John Gruden and Mike Mayock. No more A.J. McCarron. I thought for a while he was going to go forward with McCarron as his sort of Brad Johnson, right? That like the older quarterback, right?
Yes.
Rich Gannon. And yet he got cut, so now there's no
immediate successor.
Well, there's Nathan Peterman. You love Nathan Peterman.
Here's a verb.
Well,
man, you out there playing like Peterman. But when somebody say you playing like Peterman, you straight up, you straight up trash.
That's horrible.
Not exactly a verb, but it's okay.
Yeah,
I get what you mean.
He Peterman.
You made it one.
You Peterman that game.
Yeah, you Peterman that game away.
That's true. I'll buy that. I like
what
that.
You started.
I like that, actually. I do. So it sure looks like John Gruden said, okay, I give up. I'm going to give Derek Carr one big shot because he's got some new help.
Yeah.
He's got some new weapons. I'm a little concerned for Derek Carr because he might not have his old weapon, Jared Cook, who sounds like he's going to go elsewhere.
But, Skip, that's what I don't understand. He was their best receiver.
He led them in all the categories, all across the board. Jared Cook.
He's one of the better receivers. I guarantee you Aaron Rodgers wish he had him back.
Well, guess what he did to me that one fateful playoff game?
He went to Jared.
Oh, he went to Jared. He went to Jared.
Love that one.
That was a hard catch, though. That was a hard catch.
It was a pitch and catch.
No, Skip. From 30 yards away, rolling to your left.
I could have caught that with one hand.
You know what?
I believe I could have caught it.
Are you comparing yourself to Jared Cook?
Yes, I am. In that case, I am. Because I could make that catch just standing flat-footed at the boundary like, oh, here, nobody's around me.
That was fourth down.
Where's Byron Jones?
Skip, that was fourth down. The pressure.
The pressure.
Yeah.
I know.
I would definitely re-sign Jerry Cook.
Well,
Jerry Cook with Tyreek Williams and AB? You got something, Skip. You got something.
Yeah, Tyrell Williams.
Excuse me.
And he's a good young player.
Big physical receiver.
And I always liked Seth Roberts because when they went on their magical run back in 2016, every time I looked up, Seth Roberts made another big clutch touchdown catch. Huh?
His hands. Yeah, his hands are a little suspect.
Okay, well, but he makes big catches.
But he dropped little catches.
He can do that. And so they went and got Tom Brady's blindside protector, right? Trent Brown, installed him at left tackle, gave him a ton of money, probably too much.
And moved Miller, who the first round pick, they moved him to right tackle.
Okay, all right. So you should say it's pretty much set up.
Yes.
For Derek Carr to say, here I go, right?
But Skip, they weren't that great offensively, but the problem was defense. What are they going to do with that defense? That's what I need to know. They let both safeties go. They don't really have anybody. Remember, they traded Khalil Mack early. They ended up, released Bruce Irving, who's their second best pass rusher. What are they going to do about the defense?
I don't know. Draft for it. That's all I can figure out. They got picks.
Skip, you're asking an awful lot to rookies. I mean, every once in a while you get rookies that come in and
remember, there's no bona fide quality running back there either. So
what are they bringing? Are they going to bring Beast Mode back?
I don't know.
They did sign the kid from Tampa. The muscle hamster, whatever, I forget his name. Doug Martin.
Doug Martin. Work.
So what are they going to do but Skip that defense?
Yeah.
Okay, you got all these shiny toys for Derek Carr. You want to evaluate Derek Carr. You still could be, so Derek Carr, scores you 28 points, but your defense gives up 35.
Okay.
Because you know who's in that division, Skip? My homeboy. Phillip Rivers. Are they going anywhere?
You didn't mention your old team. Huh?
You know who's in that division, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
There was a time you would have mentioned the Orange first.
I would have.
Right?
But Skip, come on, bruh.
Okay.
Joe Flacco, really? When did you know teams? When did you notice teams give up on quarterback?
Yep.
That guy, if that guy becomes available, either he's washed or he's injured. Teams are not giving up. That's the only position. Man, they'll hold on to that guy till the cows come home.
Well, you know how I felt about Joe Flacco from the start, and I can't take away from what he did in the postseason, but regular season, he's Fluco. So good luck to you with Fluco next year. And now back to Derek Carr. I still believe in Derek Carr more than you do.
Yeah, you do.
I like what I saw in 2016, and again, you can say it's a blip, it's an aberration, but in 2016, until he got hurt, he played 15 games and they went 12-3. He wound up with 28 touchdowns to 6 interceptions, and I completely concur with your assessment. He could be shaky through the first half and maybe even through 3 quarters, but when it was time, when the money was on the table, he was flat out clutch. And maybe it's because they just sort of got on a clutch roll and they just kept stealing game after game. But I liked what I saw. And last year he had a career-high 69% completion percentage, so he's got ability.
He turned into your guy. Old Dink and Dat.
You think so?
Everybody fishing around the edge, Skip. You don't get big fish like that.
Yeah.
When the last time you heard somebody caught a big old giant marlin or a big old white shark fishing around shore fishing? You got to get out to the deep. You got to throw the ball down the field if you want the big plays.
Well, I saw him in 2016 casting 70 yards out into the water. Some big throws. He had that guy, Amari Cooper, who's now my guy.
Oh, my goodness, Skip.
Well, did he not?
He had it. And then what did you see in 2017?
I saw an unhappy Amari. That's what I saw. And last year I saw an unhappier Amari for the first part of the year.
Oh, my goodness. Skip, you giving too much. You giving placing blame too much on everybody else. Amari Cooper was inconsistent with the Raiders, Skip.
He made 2 Pro Bowls for 2 years.
Skip, everybody make the Pro Bowl.
Everybody makes the Pro Bowl?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Well, if you'd have played, you'd have got one.
Pro Bowl?
There you go.
Because first of all, guess what happens, Skip? Teams that go to the Super Bowl now, what happens? They don't get to go to the Pro Bowl. And now you getting the 7th and the 8th alternate. Come on, man. It used to be an honor to go to the Pro Bowl. Now, stop.
It's too bad, kind of.
Yeah, it is.
I think.
If John Gruden won a Super Bowl with Brad Johnson, he could win one with Derek Carr.
Yeah, okay, well, where them 4 Hall of Famers? Because you know Warren Sapp's in the Hall of Fame.
They're about to be drafted. That's who they are.
And John Lynch is in the top 15. So, and Simeon Rice had over 100 sacks.
Simeon Rice was really good.
He was really good.
Yep.
Now, he was a butt to deal with, but that doesn't take away from what he was able to do on the field.
He could have been the Super Bowl MVP that day.
Rondé Barber. I mean, it's not like John Gruden inherited a loaded team.
I mean, Derek Brooks, my friend Derek Brooks, you know him well, he continues to make the case that was the greatest defense ever, not Ray Lewis.
Man, Derek Brooks, he better stop playing. I know he watching, too, because you know he watching. Brooks, he stop playing.
Really?
You stop playing Brooks.
I think it's at least debatable. They belong in the same conversation.
They don't even blame Skip. That team gave up 10 points a game.
Okay.
10. They gave over 16 games. They gave up 168 points. And you add up all the rushing yards in 16 games, the team didn't reach 1,000.
I promise you, my phone is filling up with the long text right now with stat after stat after stat. From what year was that? 2002?
We were 2000. They were 02.
02.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
We had we had way because I was on that team, so I'm a part of it. We had way more shutouts. We shut folks out. Knocking people out the game. How many quarterbacks they knock out the game? We knocked a bunch of them out.
Did you go both ways that year?
Yeah, stop.
I don't know. I don't remember. Maybe it was back in the the prehistoric time when players went both ways.
He hates when LeBron says I. When he says me. Now, I said us, we. Now, did you go both ways? I mean, were you on the defense? I didn't remember you making a tackle.
Well, you played when players back in the day.
No.
A long time ago.
No, only Dion.
That would be very hard to do.
Yeah,
I prefer when you say us. You don't do it often.
Yeah, us. We, the Ravens. We had the greatest defense ever assembled.
It was
That's what the stats say.
Yeah. Although the 85 Bears might have something else to say about it.
But they gave up more points. I thought stats don't lie.
Okay, well.
And actually, the 86 Bears were better than the 85.
Those are the teams of the past and a few teams of the future. How about the Browns? Well, they now have a